Good evening and welcome you all to this Sunday session. We had a book review last Sunday on Theosophy explained in questions and answers. And today we are going to start the chapter 1. And this chapter will also be conducted in 3 parts. So part 1, 2, 3, all these parts will be explained, briefed, summarized, discussed by our today's speaker. Before we start the session, let us get into this silence and universal invocation, and afterwards we will do the session. Okay, so I'm spotlighting the speaker so that you can see his face. Okay, so we'll do the I think you're sharing your screen, Chanakya, Keshav. So you can just stop sharing. We will do the prayer and then we will. Okay, good. So we'll do the prayer first. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he's also one with every other. Let us get into silence for a couple of seconds. Come back. So as planned and shared with you all, we have our very beautiful speaker, I would say. We all have heard him in one of the Indian section symposium, and most of you would have heard him earlier also. But as a formality, I should be introducing him, Brother Adi Keshav Shastri. He's from Karnataka, Devanagari Lodge. Primarily, he is doing a corporate trainers and software professionals job. But what attracts him to our forum is he's a Sanskrit literate. So he has studied Sanskrit, and I've seen him using many shlokas and Sanskrit interpretations in his last few talks. I have followed him. So today he's going to talk about the first chapter of the book that is named What is Theosophy? So as we know, Theosophy explained in question and answers is a beautiful book for all members or any empathizer or anyone who's inquisitive about knowing what is Theosophy. So rightly named the first chapter, What is Theosophy? And I think the speaker who has undergone this most of the talks and preparing most of the talks in PowerPoint presentation, and he would be probably giving us some examples, practical things. So he would be sharing the screen. The screen would be visible to all participants, and simultaneously he'll be talking. At the end of the presentation, any questions you all have or I have, we will raise, we will put it in the chat, and he may answer that today or maybe at the end of the chapter, because these are continuing 3 chapters. So it is his way, how he wants to conduct. If questions are there to be, towards the end. So maximum 45 to 50 minutes is the plan. If questions are not there, we will ask people to keep questions there till the end of the chapter in the 3rd session. You have been a council member of the Karnataka Federation, so administratively you have done a lot of things. So I'm sure you would bring much of practical aspects of Theosophy to us, not just a bookish theory. Okay, so over to you, Adi Keshav Shastri. His screen name is Chanakya. I think he possesses some good Chanakyanitis, so he would take us through that. Thank you. Over to you.
Good evening, one and all. Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajini Vati Dhinama Vitrevatu Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Seeking blessings from all Jivan Mukt Mahatmas. Today I have been given the task of presenting to you a beautiful book, Theosophy Explained in Question and Answers by Brother P. Pavri. Before I start, I would like to thank Brother Kottail Dinakaranji from Kerala Theosophical Federation, because I didn't have that book. He took the risk, he took responsibility of sending me that book. I thank the Kerala Theosophical Federation. Before I start, let's have one thing very clear, that today's session will be more practical rather than going deep into theosophy. Let's understand, because I have been in the theosophy for the past 40 years, 46 years rather. When I was 6 years old, I was the member. So since my beginning days, the other people who have a curiosity of what we do in theosophy, they frequently used to ask me questions. What exactly is it? What are you into? What is the difference between some X, some Y, and theosophy? Do you follow any cult? Do you have any specific gods to be invoked? And what are the procedures? Is it complete based on Hinduism or Christianity? Because people even today think theosophy is a Western word, and everybody would feel, okay, there is some Christianity involved in that. What exactly is theosophy? That's the question that rises everywhere. And I know I'm a frequent traveler to different lodges, whether it's in Karnataka or wherever there is one, because my job takes a lot of traveling. But wherever I go, I ask, people ask, especially the people who have just joined, ask, what exactly is theosophy? Because the problem with our way of conducting meetings and conducting studies is that we do not differentiate between a newcomer and the people who are already into, who have read some books. And based on this, even the book that I read, I thoroughly read the book. It's a wonderful book. So we will have 3 sessions on the first chapter. Again, Kottail Dinakaranji has joined. Thank you, sir, for sending me the book. Okay. Now, let's directly go into the program of today's session, Theosophy Explained. Basically, whatever we are doing, we will take up the chapter 1, that is, what is theosophy? And I'm the presenter, I'll be presenting. And this is part 1, and we will take the first 10 basic questions, and we will try to find answers for it. So these 10 questions are very important and are very basic. The students of theosophy who are in theosophy for quite some time may see these questions as premature and of a very low level. But let me tell you, since I have seen it, most of the people who enter theosophy have these basic questions to be answered. So we will start with the first 10 basic questions. And the first question that is posed a lot of times, even it is posed to you, posed to me, whoever into theosophy, is, what is Theosophy? Basically, whenever somebody asks that, somebody has certain things in his mind that Theosophy may be either a new religion or it's a cult. Because it's a natural thing, because nowadays we see a lot of cults propagated by different gurus, Mahatmas, so-called Mahatmas, Paramahamsas, all these people. So the first thing one should answer, or we should also learn, is Theosophy is not at all a religion. And it is not also a cult. There is no cult following. The other people who are into different other organizations, you can see whether it's religious organization or other philosophical organizations, there is a cult. The speaker is considered as a holy man, giving out his discourses on different things. But only in Theosophy, Theosophy does not create a cult. Everybody is a learner. Maybe it's like, I'm in the first standard, maybe somebody is in the 10th standard, but still everybody is a learner. So the first thing one has to say is Theosophy is neither related to any religion for that matter, nor it's a cult where some exact sentences, some exact ideas from a particular person is taken out and it is discoursed to everybody. So when the first question arises, we have to know that it is neither a religion nor a cult, but Theosophy is a truth that underlies all religions. Every religion, it takes out the truth from every religion. It tries to understand the truths that are hidden in every religion. That is systematic study of a religion. That is what Theosophy is all about. Next thing is Theosophy. It is the hidden root from which all religions have sprung. So the oldest idea of understanding religion is Theosophy. So it is based on the truths that are hidden in all religions, number one. And the second one is, it is the hidden root. It is not seen. You can give it many names. For example, you call it Theosophy. In our own, the Indian thing, we call it as Brahma Vidya. Or you can give it any name. Name is not a matter there. So Theosophy, the understanding of the roots, how the religions have started, what exactly is truth, that is Theosophy. So to understand it better, because we need to understand the word religion. This is the key word here, religion. Because most of the time we talk about the religion. You see, religion in Sanskrit, dharma, it is called as dharma. Dharma means dharanat acharate iti dharma. You see, any religion for that matter, suppose if you take the word religion, religion has something. This is the keyword. Religion is the keyword. This religion that you know, once you understand religion, you can understand everything. So the word religion, dharanat acharate, religion, as you know, has certain sets of ideas or activities or belief system. So religion is basically a belief system, and any religion for that matter I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Religion has set of rules that you have to follow. Dharanas. So those set of rules, once are followed, it is followed. It is not individually followed. It's in a group wise, samuhas. So religions, definitely every religion have certain set of rules on everything. Whether it is performing a ritual or whether behavioral aspects, whether personal growth and personal identification, and most importantly, they have certain set of rules for some unknown element known as God. Okay, so religions have these set of rules, and they have an unique belief system on God who is a creator. So in every religion, the first thing comes is, the first one important thing that you should know is, see, it's a unique belief system, as you know here, and there is something called God and something called the creator. So God is a creator, and every religion believes on that. Take any example, for example, anything. In Hinduism, we call it as the Brahman. In Christianity, he is the God, he is the Father. So it is Trinity, Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And in Islam, it is the Allah. So all these things, it is a very set. And those sets, as you know, are sometimes have I'm sorry for that. There was some technical error. Okay. And each religion has a way of worshiping the God. That you know. Let's not explain. Suppose if somebody asked me the same question, what exactly is that? You have the set. Who has made the set? The set is underlined. See, that is why we call religion as a form of set of rules written down by either an individual or group of individuals, which can be changed whenever we wish. Everybody who follows a religion knows that we have certain set of rules which I have omitted. It was in practice 500, 600 years back. Today, either practically or because of something else, we are not following it. Those things are omitted. And we have the way, you see, for example, if you take the Indian subcontinent, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we have several, every 50, 60 kilometers, the god changes. You go to villages, you have the village gods. Go to certain community, they have their own gods. That god is either based on an animal or based on something which they are into. If it is an agricultural thing, for example, in Karnataka, okay, we have something called Mulkattamma, thorn, the Devi. That is, you can, it can be best explained as a fence. In olden days, they had the fence around their fields, agricultural fields. So Mullu means thorns. So somebody thought, okay, these things have to be protected. And the idea of that God came into picture, which protects us and which is in the thorn shape. So no need to explain all those things because everybody of us know in every state we have different one. And the way of worshipping is also, it changes. It changes from person to person. It changes from community to community. Everything from one part of some gods, they become non-vegetarian gods. Some gods, they become purely vegetarian. Some gods, they even consume alcohol and liquor, and they also consume tobacco and everything. So that is the religious aspect. Next important thing is, yes, this is very important. There is something called either love or fear about some uncertain and unimaginable God. Let me not name some religions because somebody would be hurt. Yes, in some religions, the connection between a bhakt and God is purely of love. And as you know, in religious perspective, we also are seeded with something called fear of God. That's a natural word we use. Hey, he's a God-fearing man. I never have heard somebody saying, hey, he's a God-loving man. So we have that inherent fear of something which is unimaginable, and we call that as God. So my God, as per when I'm talking now, it is on religious aspects. When you are talking about your God, either you have love or fear. It's a digital one. Other than that, you will not think of anything else. Yes, the God that I consider is he is the most powerful, and importantly, I fear for him, because if I don't love him, he will punish me. Those are the set of rules that we have made. If I don't, he will punish me. Next important aspect of the religion is, there are certain things. Suppose there are some very deeper and perennial problems of life. I'm not talking about the physical problems that we have. It is the inner problem, perennial problems. And there is it. Suppose the basic question, let me tell you, is who am I? In the religious perspective, either I should be God or I should be a bhakt. So I can't be God. That's why I'm a bhakt. That is what my identity in my religious aspects. But religions, that is why they have their own set of things. You can't go out of them. Sometimes what happens is, there is an imminent problem here also, that you cannot ask questions of whatever that is written in the religious texts. Okay, these are the important aspects of religion. A lot of people ask me, look, I'm a very religious man. I perform puja 3 times a day. I'm a Shaiva. I pray Lord Shiva, or I'm a Vaishnava. Wonderful. But religious attitude says that you have to have certain kind of doing things in a particular way as per the text. But remember, a lot of the stories that we hear, yes, there were many people who just moved out of the way to get things from the God. So this is about religion. So religion is a small compact box which doesn't have any Pandora thing in it. You just put your hand there in the box and take out a ball. Every ball is predictable. That is the religion is. And religion does not give 100% answer to the perennial problems of life. So we come to know what exactly is theosophy and how different it is from religion. In theosophy, we do not have a set of rules. We say, as JK said, go in a path. There is no guru here. You go in a path, you enjoy that path. Finally, that path comes exactly to that. That is why it is given in a shloka, in a subhashita rather. Okay. Akashat patitam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram sarvadeva namaskaram keshavam pratigacchati. It means the droplets from ocean, from skies, they drop down on earth, and finally their destination is the ocean. But remember, they may not become the whole river, or they may not become the one river. Like, for example, some drops, every river will become Kaveri and enter into Bay of Bengal. It doesn't happen that way. There are n number of rivers. Finally, all rivers, they should meet in the ocean. That is the kind of the spiritual knowledge we want to get. So we think that since I am a part of a small pond or a small river that is flowing, my belief is, yes, my river is the biggest one because I have not seen that frog and well story that you know very well. So we are bounded by that. And that makes us, whatever I know from the previous, my predecessors, and whatever you are telling is completely wrong. So I don't believe what you say, because I have had a prejudiced mind since my childhood, and I never wanted to compare what exactly you are into, and I never even the image of certain kinds of the tantric things that should happen. So we were never part of that. And as you know, Theosophy, here Theos means God. Let me not explain it, and Sophia means wisdom. Theos and Sophia, they are Greek words. And the Theos, the wisdom, Sophia, that wisdom is an enormous one. It doesn't have a boundary. It's a boundaryless wisdom. So this is about Theosophy and the religious aspects of one's belief. Now let's go to the one. We just discussed about the deeper problem of life, the deeper problem, perennial problems we called it as. Yes, everybody has this problem. The first one is, everybody has a problem understanding the creation of universe. Yes, this is very important. You see, let's whoever we meet, they have the same question. They ask me, hey, according to Theosophy, who created universe? I ask them the same question. According to the religious aspects, who created it? God has created it. Wonderful. God has created it. So for creating universe, you need some things. For example, if I'm making a pot, okay, earthen pot, I need soil. So at the same time, when I am existing, so soil is also there. I have water, I have the machinery, everything. So all those things, they are my contemporaries. So the basic question falls. In here, God has created. When God has created it, he needs something. So we call it as omnipotent and omnipresent. So he was number one. First he was formed, then all these things were formed. So to make creation of universe, we needed it. So according to the religious aspect, the word God loses its meaning. So when I ask them, I have asked several people, they say, no, that cannot be questioned. He can do anything he wishes. That's again a kind of, I call it as religious phobia, if you wish. Yes, if I talk against, I'll have Papa. No question of Tarkic discussion with that. So everybody wants to know, these are the problems. Yes, how did the universe form? And the second basic problem that we have, is this question, who am I? You see, everything, the thirst or the walk on the path of philosophy, the first question is, who am I? So, I am the creation of God in the religious this thing. So if you are the creation, you are different and God is different. God is superior to you. So a simple question. But really, if you ask them the question, really, is that you? No, I don't know. The next important thing that is, what is my purpose? See, I have been here. I have been given out the birth. I call, think as myself. But why are you here? Because God presented me here. God created me, sent me here. I'm here. What is the purpose? Don't know, because God has created. He must have some purpose. But God hasn't told me. When he will tell you, there is no answer. So the purpose of my existence here and the relationship between me and God, is it because of love? Is it because of fear? Or is it because of social etiquette? He's doing it. I'm doing it. That's all. Now, when you ask the question, what if you don't do it? We are confused. Why should we do namaskarams like this? Okay. Is there any other? Why should we make salam like this? Why? I don't know. Because it is said that you have to do like this. You have to pray God like this. You have to praise the Lord like this. Then only we can achieve something. What sort of achievement? So the whole confusing word things start from here. Your relationship with God, He cannot answer. And I am more interested about why am I getting a lot of sufferings and pain? Why, if God has created me, if God, so-called God, loves me, why should He give me pain? Okay, to test you. How far? He's testing me for 5 years. He's testing me for 10 years. He has given me a disease that I have to cope up whole of my life. Why has He given it to me? Is it because I did some papa karma or something? He doesn't like me? Look, the total relationship changes here. Yes, I love God, but when I have some pain, physical pain and sufferings, definitely God doesn't love me because I did some mistake. And what sort of God is He when He cannot forgive the mistakes committed by His own creations? The next important thing is, why some people are lucky. Why is it that? Why is it that? I have seen the most cruel man I have ever seen is enjoying life like anything. But I am God-fearing. I am very religioustic. I don't hurt anybody. But why I am suffering? Why is he lucky? There are n number of questions that are asked. And dreams. What are dreams for? What do they indicate? First of all, why should we dream? Do other animals dream? Does a bacteria dream? Does a cat dream? If they don't dream, why am I dreaming? Why there are certain things? Whenever I dream, I always see a lot of hatred, a lot of violence in my dreams. What is it for? So, whenever you meet with a curious, with an inquisitive man, he will ask you a lot of questions. Lastly, the deepest problem is death. Why should man die? What happens after death? why God has created something called a term called death, where my physical body goes off. And suppose I'm getting aged, everything is happening. Why is that? That's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukadukadaha agama apayino nitya tam stitikshasva bharata. So by touching only we can find out everything. And we, we continuously, we want everything. We have to feel with all the our five sensory organs. So these are the most important and very crucial questions that come as perennial problems. Now, most of the times, I'll get to know, people ask me, a lot of people ask me, is there, number one, does Theosophy has some immediate relief for my sufferings? That too, the thing should be immediate. What will you say? Because in Theosophy, as you know, we have been here for so many years. We know very well, Theosophy never says, or the people from Theosophy, or the people who give discourses, they never say, all your problems will be saved, will be solved when you come to Theosophy. That is the most important aspect. Okay, next. Once death is over, now comes the third question. All these questions, they do not have any answer. And you cannot answer. Suppose, if you ask them the same question, so what is your relationship with God? No. No man can give you all the answers. Because those things, they never or can be answered by man. But remember, there is nothing in the universe man cannot explore. Yes, in physical sciences also it has happened. Say last 300, 400 years back, nobody would have thought that we would have something called this kind of technology. I'm sitting in a remote place here and I'm talking to the people across globes. So you see, the major thing that is explore. You cannot answer this question because you are not exploring the things. And you blindly believe that these questions are unanswered. Because as a human being, I'm the smallest person, I'm the dumbest person compared with whatever the God or godly things, etc. But remember, whenever somebody says, you cannot answer such questions, you can. The only thing is we have not explored. And the second thing is, whenever these questions are unanswerable, definitely there is something called ignorance. That's what Bhagavan Buddha said. Ignorance, ajnan, and always there is called some mental inertia. You see, inertia is something that it is, when you talk about physics, yes, inertia is something, it is the property of a body to be in the same position or to be moving in the straight line unless compelled by an external force to act otherwise. Suppose you have played marbles, right? Kancha. Okay, it is there. If it is hit by another one, it starts moving. If it is not hit, it stays there. So that is inertial state. If you are moving in a bicycle or a bike, only when you move it towards left, then only it moves. If not, the bike would have moved the same direction forever. So mind is like that. We have that inertial mind where it stands wherever it is. And we don't want to have one more initiation from external body, because we get hurt, or we fear, or since we have this prejudicic mind, yes, I don't want to change my important thing. So these are the things. Yes. The fourth question, talking about these things that are not in my religious text is against the will of God. Because as you know, in Theosophy, we have been here for quite some time, and we have attended few lectures or whatever it is. Here, we speak a lot of things which are not in the religious book. But when you talk which is not in the religious book, for example, one of the religions may say that earth is flat, and through science we have known that earth is neither flat, it is oval shaped. Okay, now, oh no, I cannot talk. Do we still have that? Suppose if something is there which is written by a single individual or a set of people, and they have told you something, and today you know that it is wrong, do we still believe that, and do we follow that? Suppose I am a scientist and in my religion something is said, and do I follow the same instructions to do some experiments? No. For example, the Chandra, the moon, is God to us through our religious texts. So stepping on moon is stepping on God, Chandradev. So is it not that everything, okay, if I go there, the God would be hurt? Not at all. Yes, we still have some inquisitiveness. We still consider, because if I speak, regarding some other galaxy, say about 500 or 600 lakh light kilometers away, you will say, you will never believe that. If I say, yes, there exists one more race, human race, which is more developed, you will never believe it. Because for us, we are in the same small boundary. Okay. The one which is not in the text, it also exists. So we have to understand that these science thing that we are studying, they were not in the religious text. When you can study science, why can't you study the things which are not in our religious text? At least to get some knowledge out of it. Okay, this is the fourth basic question people would ask. Now, the fifth question is, if Theosophy explains everything, why so many dislike it? Yes, I have heard a lot of people. They call Theosophy is boring. There is no maja in Theosophy. Because if I go to some Swami or Maharshi or whatever name you get, he makes you dance. He makes me forget everything, the problems that I have, the stress I have, the tension I have, within minutes. Till I am there, I'll not be myself. I'll be one with God. A lot of people have asked me, what is there in Theosophy? Very recently, I had been to Hirur. Some man asked me, sir, the other cult or something, it makes a lot of things, sir, so a lot of people will go there. They don't come to Theosophy because Theosophy is boring. They ask you, they don't give you any sort of relief with anything. And they are more harsh also. They'll say, understand who you are. It's only you have to understand the things. Not anybody can make you understand. Sir, what to do? So many, they do not like Theosophy because Theosophy does not give solutions for the problems of the physical world. Theosophy never says, do this, you'll be rich in 10 years, in 10 minutes, or 10 days, or 1 month. Theosophy doesn't say that if you read the mantra that I give, definitely you will have complete healthy body. No, Theosophy doesn't do that. That is why most people, I don't think they dislike it. It's like, boring. Yes, some people it is boring. And people have very hard time to overcome the mental inertia they have. Definitely, this is one of the aspects. They don't want to think anything other than what they know. Okay, so, and because when you have to come to Theosophy, you have to cancel all your prejudices. But I can't cancel, because what I know is the truth, ultimate truth. So I can't cancel my prejudices. I can't leave my prejudices and study the things in Theosophy. And I cannot comparatively study other religions. Yes. No, why should I study somebody else's religion when I have so many books? When I cannot finish my own religion in this Janma, I can't finish it. Why should I? It's all waste. No, that Dharma says, but everything is in my Dharma only. And my Dharma has to be perfect because one of the people belonging to my own Dharma has done it. Those are the important things. So the next question. So what are the fundamental principles of Theosophy? They asked me this question. You see, the fundamental, one of the most fundamental thing is the immanence of God. Yes. And the second one is the universal presence. Yes. Even in the prarthana that we say, everything, we talk about the manifestation of God into everything. So there is a non-duality there. In religious things, there is duality. Me different, God is different. Here, no. It is Aham Brahmasmi and Tattvamasi. That's all they were. And the universal brotherhood. Everything is same. Me, that iron, the iron thing that is there, everything, it is one. That is the universal brotherhood. It is not between men and men. And it is the universal brotherhood. Okay, I believe I have taken, I was supposed to explain 10 questions. It was only time for 6 questions. So, Sister Suvarlina, can we end this session and go for question and answers?
Yeah, I think we have got another 12 minutes to go. Otherwise, you can complete this 10 questions, and question answers we'll do in the third session. That will be better.
That would be better, because you can have bundle of questions so that
yes,
I can face.
In the third session, we will have questions, because this is chapter 1 only. So it's better you complete your 10 things. Okay. Please go ahead.
So now, the 7th question that there is, what exactly, I can't explain Theosophy, because for a student who has come for the first time, I can't explain him the 7 words. Okay, so he will say, what exactly, give me a rough idea, what exactly you are in the, what are the teachings of Theosophy? Yes, we have that. Yes, as your religious thing, we also believe in some God. We have given him a name. I have given him the name Brahman. You can call him by any name. And that God is unmanifested. And from that unmanifestation stage, he gets manifested into 2. Prakriti, Purusha, whatever you can give several names. From 2, it becomes 3. Kapila's Sankhya Shastra. I have done a lecturing on those. Yes, 2 becomes the 3. And we call it as Trinity. Like Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, whatever it is. You can give him them. So the unmanifested God manifests himself. Again, calling himself is a good thing, because it is neither male or female. Manifests itself. And this, that the total unmanifested thing, energy, it is not, it is like, universal manifestation. So Theosophy thinks of the universal manifestation of the unmanifested God, where there are no rules. And this manifestation has a definite protocol and plans for propagation. It doesn't happen randomly, like God created one day man, one day elephants, one day horses. No, it goes according to a scientific process. Matrameru it is called. Even I have done on that. Yes, Matrameru. One by one it goes. And it's a science and maths. Completely, there is a scientific procedure for it. Okay. Next, it is the divinity of the human soul we consider. Yes, I am the God. I am the manifestation of God. That means, don't say that I am different and he is different. Yes, physical, when we talk about physical things, we are different. But ultimately, the whole thing, I am divine. You are divine. Everything that has been manifested on earth or in the universe is completely divine. There is nothing called bad. And also, there is nothing called good. Okay. And we believe in the evolution, both evolution and involution, both. So man develops into, because when you talk about evolution, scientists say up to man, Homo sapiens is the last. After that, Homo sapiens was born somewhere around 40,000 years back. Till then, is there no evolution? Some people would say, no, there will be one more species, Homo sapiens, sapiens, but we don't know. Even the biologists are confused. But it thinks of a man, from man to a superman, a super soul. Theosophy has scientific evidences. Theosophy makes us learn those things. Okay, now lastly, there is something called the presence of masters, Jivan Muktas. Yes, there are certain people, there are certain souls which have surpassed, which have already traveled through this plane, from our physical things, whatever we are, human beings, they are not human beings. So there is a definitive plan which these masters are taking care of. And we will also become masters one or the other day. We will also become Jivan Muktas another day. It does not require any kind of prejudicial things or procedures. Only thing is to evolve within ourselves. Okay. Now, people ask me, what is Theosophy? Okay, you explained what all the Theosophical Society is into. Basically, we know Theosophy dates back to, the name dates back to 3rd century, the Christian era, where we have this eclectic theosophical system, and this Ammonius Saccus in Alexandria and his disciples started it, to understand everybody's vision of religion. So it was formed then, and the Theosophical Society, as you know, which to make things in a particular way. This was started on November 17th, 1885 in New York by Madam H.P. Blavatsky and Colonel Olcott. So, and from that day, it is we are going with that. Fine. Last but not least, they'll ask, why should I join? Why should I study the theosophical things? Why should I go in for that? You see, the number one aspect is, yes, we can understand the true conception of God and the plan of God. What exactly is the plan? How evolution is taking place? And we can easily come to know the purpose of our existence. We are not here to make money. We are not here to do some physical work and go. There is some particular purpose that I'm into. So they have, the Theosophy is a joining school. It's like joining school. So I want to become a doctor. My purpose is to become a doctor, so that I should study. So I should not, I'll be studying it from class 1 and I'll go up to 1. So for that, we are here to learn, to understand the things, to understand the knowledge, and we can understand ourselves better. And when we understand ourselves, so there is no need to go in for certain kind of exterior powers to teach us, because everything is here. The only things, we should have some kind of an antenna, which can get that frequency out. The last question is, sir, you told me everything. Can I study and practice theosophy because I am from this background? All these stuffs are asked. You see, to study theosophy, even some theosophists, so-called theosophists, or everybody, rather say most of us, we are not non-prejudiced. Yes, we have some prejudices also. Okay, anyone with a non-prejudiced mind who is eager to understand the hidden knowledge of the truth that exists can study theosophy. Yes, anybody who has an open mind and who does not possess a reactive mind. Before somebody says, before we read something, we will have that reactive mind. No, it cannot be possible. If you have that, definitely you can study theosophy, because theosophy is not bounded by a set of rules. It is only bounded by the unlimited, the energy of the whole universe, the manifested and the unmanifested, both. That's what we are into. We have infinite, we have n number of options to study theosophy. And finally, these are the 10 basic questions that are asked by the beginners and even the people who are into this thing. And this all what we have to learn before we enter into a true study of theosophy. Thank you very much, Sister Suvalna ji, and all the other people who are here. Thank you very much. Namaskaram.
Very nice. So you can just remove your screen sharing, and we are at the end of the part 1. And we are not taking any questions today because we are already done with the timing. I do not have any closing comments. I guess you have explained it so beautifully. One thing that occurred to me, that came to my mind, is recently I was reading this Sacred Doctrine. One thing I got reminded when you were saying, no, it is about fear of God and not love of God. Or another thing that came to my mind is, whichever we cannot understand, whichever cannot occur to our petty normal brain, we say that it's dark. Perhaps there is a bright light in that darkness, but since we could not capture it and we could not see it in our consciousness, beyond consciousness, what occurred to us is we say that it's dark. No, it's not dark. There is some mind which can see the light in the darkness. So maybe we have not evolved that much to see that light in the darkness. So that theosophy brings us to think and make us. It was such a wonderful thing, as I had expected, and you also explained. It's not a theory, it's a practical thing. You gave us a lot of inputs. So when we join a session, we always go ahead with a takeaway. I would not dictate any takeaway for any. Part 2, because when we take away things and we practice, next week when we meet, our thing would be clear. It's about me doing it. It's Chanakya cannot do it for me, or Suvalna cannot do it for Chanakya, right? So with this note, I think let us get into silence for a couple of seconds before I do the closing prayer. It was wonderful. Thank you. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः
Sarve
सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित्
bhavi.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you all. We are closing the session. There will be a session of Indian section on Friday, but Sunday we will repeat this part 2. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you very much.